Okay, then now, so we just completed what aggregate functions. Okay, then I seen like what students they write query like this: ename comma count star from emp. They write like this, but sir, this query is not executing. This query is giving the error. Why? What the reason is? Reason is this. What then? So what the reason is? This is the reason. Number of values written by column 1 must be equal to number of values written by column 2. Then only this query will work. Ename returns how many values? 14 values. But counts are returns how many values? 1 value. So that is not possible. Okay. Then these two expressions cannot be combined in select. Okay. Then no. So then, like, what are the functions I covered? One is like, actually I started with what? Date functions. In date functions, I covered date part, date name, okay, na? Date diff and date add. That's yes. Date part, date name, date diff, date add. Next, string functions. In string functions, I covered upper, lower, len, next left, next one right, next one substring, next one replicate, next one replace, next one transmit. Next one, mathematical functions are numeric functions. In numeric functions, I covered what? Okay, then power, next one abs, absolute value, next one power, next one square root, next one sine, okay, next one round, next one floor, next one ceiling. And conversion, I covered two. One is cast and convert. Special functions, in special I covered two. One is, okay, is null. Is null. Next one, coalesce. Next one, analytical functions. Analytical functions, I covered three. Rank, what? Dense rank. Next one, row number. And aggregate functions, one is max, another one min, sum, average, count, count star. That's all. So this is what I covered. Hey. Okay. Then. You know, no, that's no. So if anything is any function is there, if anything is like missed, if any function, we'll see later. Okay, now then. So no. Okay then. That's this is about function stop. Oh, okay, next. What the next one is case statement. Next one is case statement. Then case. Case statement. What is case statement? What for case statement? In programming languages, you write if else, if then else, if condition, you write some statements, else you write some statements. Yes or no? Huh? So this is in programming languages. In programming languages, you write if else conditions. But same thing, I want to implement this in SQL. In SQL, I want to write if else. If we want to write if then else, but what we use what? Case statement. So case statement is mainly used to implement what if then else. In programming languages, you write if else, but SQL is not a programming language. SQL is a what? Query language. So what is SQL is given? It is given what? Case statement. So it's given case statement. Okay. Now, then, so switch case. Switch case. Something case is somewhat similar to switch case. So what the purpose is? Case statement. Case statement used to implement if then else. Okay, use it to implement if then else. In SQL, if you want to implement if else, then so we use case statement, and using this case statement, use it to return values based on what? Use it to return the values based on what? Conditions. Case statement, use it to return the values based on conditions. Case statement, use it to return values based on condition. If condition true, I want to return one value. If second condition true, I want to return some value. Third condition is true, I want to return some value. You want to return the values based on conditions, then use what? Case statement. And case statements are two types. Case statements are two types. One is simple case. Another one what? Setched case. So case statements are two types. One is simple, another one set. So first we'll see simple case. Next we'll see what setted case. Okay, then first we'll see simple case. Next. So when we use simple case, we use simple case when conditions based on equal to. Sir, here you write conditions, yes, if condition. In this condition, these conditions can be based on which operators? These conditions can be based on which operators? Maybe equal, maybe greater than, maybe less than. Yes or no? Okay, na? So maybe conditions based on relational operators. If conditions based on equal to operator, use what? Simple case. If conditions not based on equal to, then use what? Set. If conditions based on equal to, use what? Simple case. If conditions not based on equal to, then use what? Set. So first we'll see simple, next we see set. So simple case. Okay, then simple case. And use simple case when conditions what? Use simple case when conditions based on what? Equal to operator. Okay, use simple case when conditions based on equal to, and use setted case when conditions not based on equal to. Okay, now how, like, how to use, what is the syntax? You have to use like this. Case what? Case what's it? Expression. Case expression, or you can write what? Column name. When value 1, then return expression 1. Next one, when value 2. Okay, when value 2, then return expression 2. Return expression 2, so on. Else what? Else return expression. Every case statement should end with what? End. So this is the syntax. Case expression when value 1, return expression 1. When value 2, return expression 2. When all the conditions false, then else return expression. Every case statement should end with what? End. That's all. This is what syntax. Okay. Ah. Now how it works? How this will work? If this expression equal to what? Value 1. If this expression equal to value 1, case statement return this expression. If expression equal to value 2, case statement return this expression. If expression is not equal to value 1, value 2, case statement returns what? Else. If this is equal to value 1, case statement return this. If this is equal to value 2, case statement return this. If this is not equal to value 1, value 2, so on, case statement returns what? Else. But else is not compulsory, else is optional. In if conditions, else is compulsory. When you write if else, else is compulsory, else is not compulsory. When you write if else conditions, else is compulsory, not compulsory. You can write if else conditions with else, without else. Similarly, here also else is not compulsory. Okay. Then so now, for example, just see one example. I want to show something like this. What is e-name? Next one, job. I want to show the name and job. I want to show every employee name and job. You see, what are the jobs? What are the jobs? E-name job from EMP. What are the jobs? So what it is showing is, it is showing every employee name and job. Smith, clerk, Alan, salesman, like this. So these are the jobs, employee jobs. But I don't want to show the database values. In database, what values are there? Clerk, salesman, manager, like this. But I don't want to show the database values. I want to show my own values. For example, if job equals to clerk, if job equals to clerk, I want to display worker. If job equal to clerk, I want to display what? Worker. If job is what? For example, if job is manager, I want to display what's that? Boss. If job is, like, for example, president, if job is president, that means I want to show what? Big boss. Next one. Else, if job is not clerk, manager, not president, I want to show something like what? Employee. I want to show like this. If job is clerk, actual job is clerk, I want to display worker. If job is manager, I want to display boss. If job is president, I want to display big boss. Otherwise, I want to show employee. Then you see this, by reading this, immediately you should get the idea that case is required, because displaying the job is based on what? Displaying the job. Displaying the job. Displaying the job is based on what? Conditions. Displaying the job is based on what? Conditions. When you want to display the values based on conditions, then use what? Case statement. If job equal to this, then display this. If job equal to manager, return this. If job equal to president, return this. So displaying the jobs is based on conditions. Then you have to use what? Case statement. Okay. Then, so when something like this, immediately should get the idea that what case is required. Now, how to write query? How to write? So you have to write like this. What is select e-name? Next one, what? Okay, na? Select e-name. Next one, what? Job. Select e-name, job. What is that? Is case. Case. But follow the syntax. What is the syntax? Is case what? Case. In case you write column name. Column name, or you can write expressions. Column name. But tell me, so your condition based on which column? Your column name means condition based on which column? My condition based on what column? Job column. So case job. Case job. Then what? When. When what? When. Then when, what's that? Value 1. Just follow the syntax. If you follow the syntax, you can write anything. Like job equals to what? Clerk. If you write like this, what is the meaning here? If you write like this, what is the meaning? If job equals to what? Clerk. If job equals to clerk. If job equals to clerk, what do you want to return? Worker. So I want to return worker. Then next one. When what? When what? Manager. If job equals to manager. If job equals to manager, what do you want to return? Boss. Next one. When what? When what? President. When president, then what? Big boss. If job equals to president, if job equals to clerk, I want to return worker. If job is manager, I want to return boss. If job is president, I want to return big boss. Else. That means not clerk, not manager, not president. Then for others, what do you want to return? Employee. Else employee. Else employee. And every case statement should end with what? End. The case statement should end with end. But once again, now, from what? EMP. From EMP. Suppose I run the query now. So it go to the first one. What is the job? Clerk. Job is clerk. If job equals to clerk, condition true, then what case statement returns? Worker. And go to the next one. What is the job? Salesman. If job is clerk? No. Job is manager? No. Job is president? No. Then returns employee. Next one, employee. Next one, manager. If job equals to clerk? No. Job equal to manager? Yes. Then returns what? Boss. So like that. So it go to each and every row, checks condition true or false. Then, so it is showing worker, employee, employee, boss, employee, like this. So it is showing each and every employee job, but not showing the database values, showing our own values. Okay, then, but I want to change this heading. What is the heading you want to show? Job. I want to show the job. Then what you have to say? As what? Job. As job. And so now heading is changed or not? Yes. So if you want to change the heading, declare alias. Okay, as job. That's all. Sir, one string to another string. Which function you use? One string to another string. String to string. Then replace. Which function? Replace. Character to character. Translate. String to string. Replace. Character to character. Value to value. Clerk to worker. Manager to boss. Value to value. Case. One value to another value. Then case statement. String to string. Replace. Character to character. Translate. One value to another value. Then case statement. That's all. So this is what, how to use case. Okay, na? But in which command you use the case statement? In which command we use case statement? Select command. You are calling the case statement in select because user is asking to what? Display the jobs, but displaying the jobs is based on conditions, and you are using the case statement. You are calling the case statement select. Not only select, you can call this case statement in update command. Wherever you want, you can call. Wherever it is based on condition, then you can use case statement. It's not only select. Okay, then. So like example, then okay, example. Oh, example. Another example for case. Increment employee salaries as follows. Increment employee salaries as follows. increment employees salaries as follows. Okay, na? Increment the salaries as follows. One is what? If what? Okay, increment salaries, but salaries like incrementing salaries, it is based on like this. If department number equals to what? 10, increment salary by 10%. Department number is 20, increment salary by 15%. Department number is 30, increment salary by 20%. And for others, increment salary by 5%. That's all. If employee belongs to 10th department, the salary should be incremented by 10. If he belongs to 20, 15%, 30, 20%, others 5%. Okay, then. So incrementing salaries based on conditions, then you have to use what? You see that by reading this, you should get the idea. Case is required. Your conditions based on equal to na, not based on equal to na. It is based on equal to na, based on greater than, less than, equal to. Then use which case? Simple case. Conditions based on equal to, simple case. Conditions not based on equal to, then such. Okay. Now tell me how to write this. You read it. Read the question. Read the question. What? Update. I'm asking to increment salaries. I'm asking to what, sir? Increment salaries. Then I want to increment in table. In table, I want to increment. What is the command? Update. Update what? Update EMP. Which table? Just follow the syntax of update. Update EMP. Then set. What do you want to update? Salary. Salary should be updated with how much? Salary should be updated with 10% or 15 or 20 or 5 or depends on department number. Okay, na? Here, department number. That means it is based on conditions or not? Yes. Then you have to use what? Case. Use case. Okay, na? Salary should be updated with how much? Depends on the conditions. Then use what? Case statement. Case. Then what? Your condition based on which column? Department number. Previous. Condition based on which column? Previous. Conditions based on which column? Job. So case job. But in this, condition based on which column? Department number. So you have to write case department number. Then what? When 10. Then when 10. Then what is the meaning? What is the meaning? If department number equals to what? 10. If department number equals to 10. If department number equals to 10, then what? If department number equals to 10, then salary should be updated with how much? 10%. The salary should be updated with how much? 10%. How to write 10% increment? Salary. 10% increment. How to write? Salary into 0.1. Salary is 5,000. Salary is 5,000. 5,000 into 0.1. 500. Salary is updated with 500. This is not increment. But whenever you say increment means how to write? It's not increment, boss. It is decrement. Your salary is 5,000. 5,000 into 0.1. 500. Salary is updated with 500. It's not increment. Then salary plus salary into 0.1. Salary plus salary into 0.1. So salary is incremented by Now salary is 5,000. 5,000 plus 500. 5,500. Salary is 5,000. 5,000 plus 500. 5,500. That is called increment. Increment means always you have to write. X should be incremented by 1. X equal to X plus 1. Like that. Okay. Now, if 10, next 20. If department is 20, then what? Department is 20. Salary should be incremented by 15%. How to write 15%? Sal plus sal into 0.15. Salary is incremented by 20. 30. Then what? Salary plus salary into 0.2. Okay, na? Then otherwise you can also write like this. Salary into 1.2. You can write like this. Salary into 1.2. Okay, then leave it. Sal into what's that? 0.2. So salary is incremented by how much? 20%. Okay. Others means what? Others means else. Else salary should be incremented by how much? 5%. How to write 5%? Salary plus salary into 0.05. Every case statement should end with what? End. That's all. This is okay. So in previous example, you're calling the case statement in select, but in this example, you're calling the case statement in update command. Okay. Yeah. No. How it works, like you see the table, then you see the table. Now select what? E-name, salary, department number from EMP. So the first employee belongs to what? 20. What is the salary? 800. So is the department number is 10? No. Department number is what? 20. Yes. Now what is case statement returns? Condition true, na? Case statement returns what? Sal plus sal into 0.15. That means salary is updated with what value? Salary plus salary into 0.15. What is the salary? 800. 800 plus 800 into 0.15. 800 plus then 15% on 800. What is the 15% on 800? 120. 800 plus 120. 920. Okay. Next. Go to next one. What is the salary? 1600. What is the department number? 30. Is department number is 10? No. Department number is 20? No. Department number is 30? Yes. Salary is updated with what value? 20% increment. What is the 20% increment? 1600 plus 20%. What is the 20% on 1600? 320. What the 20% is? 320. 1600 plus 320. What? 1920. Like that. So it go to one by one, update the salary. It go to one by one and update the salary. Salary is updated. Okay, then. So can we declare as salary? Can we declare Elias? No. Why? Huh? Sir, this is what Elias purpose. First, understand the Elias purpose. Then you'll understand this. What the Elias purpose is to change heading in the output. If you want to change the heading, we use Elias. Are you displaying the data? No, you're updating the data. When you're not displaying, there is no question of changing the heading. So there is no question of Elias. Aliases are used in only what? Select. Aliases are declared in what? Select, not in update. Then, so let me run this. 14 rows affected. Now see the table. Select start from what? EMP. See the table. Then, so what is the Smith? 920. Allen is what? 1920. What? 1250. Actually 1250. 1250 is increased by 20%. What is the 20% on 1250? 250. 1250 plus 250. What? 1500. Okay. Then. So every employee's salary is incremented by, okay, then depends on the department. Yes or no? So it is incremented by 10% or 20 or 30 or depends on what department number. Then. Now. Next. These two examples are what? These two examples are what? Simple case. One more is there. What is that? Is set. Setted case. Then when we use what? Setted case when conditions not based on what? Equal to operator. Use setted case when conditions not based on equal to operator. Use setted case when conditions not based on equal to operator. Okay. Use setted case when conditions not based on equal to operator. Not based on equal to means what? Not based on equal to means maybe based on what? Greater than, less than, between, in, like. Okay. Then now what the syntax is? This is the syntax. Case when condition 1, then what? Return expression 1. When condition 2, then return expression 2. So on. Next one. Else what? Else return expression. And every case statement should end with what? End. When condition 1, return expression 1. When condition 2, return expression 2. Else return expression. Every case statement should end with what? End. So this is syntax for setted case. Okay, then You compare with simple case. Compare with simple case. Then compare with simple case. This is the simple case. What is the difference? Difference is there in two. What are the two? This one. Here case contains what? Case contains column name. But here case doesn't contain column name. Here when contains what? Value. But here when contains what? Condition. Okay, now that here case contains column name. Here when contains what? Value. But here case doesn't contain column name. But when contains what? Condition. You know the difference between value and condition? You know the difference between value and condition? You know the difference? You know the difference between value and condition? No, I don't know. Value bus, value, condition, and what? Hmm? 3,000 value. Salary greater than 3,000. Condition. That's all. What is that? This is value. What is this is? Condition. This is condition. Okay, now then here you write what? Values. But here you write conditions. You write conditions. Sir, conditions means whatever. Like where clause. In where clause you written conditions, na? Same condition. Conditions means same. Whether it is where clause or case or anywhere. Condition means same. Okay, na? Then. So condition means always you have to remember like this. What is column name, operator, next what? Value. This is called condition. Column name, operator, value. Okay. Column name, operator, value. What is the operator? What operator? Greater than, less than, equal to, in, like, okay, then. But this is one condition. If you want multiple conditions, there is one more condition. Like again, column name, operator, value. This is one condition. This is another condition. How to combine these two conditions? You want to write multiple conditions. Then either you have to use what? And then or. And then or comes only between two conditions. And then or comes only between two conditions. Okay, then now let's take one example. For example, display what? E-name, next one salary, next one salary range. Then if what salary range is not there in the table, what is there in the table? Salary is there, but sal range is not there in the table. What is sal range is? Suppose if what? Salary greater than 3,000, then display. If salary greater than 3,000, then display I sal. If salary less than 3,000, then display what? Low sal. If salary equal to 3,000, otherwise not greater than, not less than, means equal, then I want to show average sal. If greater than 3,000, display I sal. Less than 3,000, display low sal. Otherwise what? Average sal. That's all. But you see this here, conditions based on what? Conditions based on greater than, less than. When conditions based on, not based on, equal to. When conditions not based on, equal to, then use what? Sets. When conditions based on, equal to, then use simple. Okay, then there are two case statement. Which case you use? Simple. It is based on equal to, simple case, not based on equal to, setted case. Setted case syntax, simple case syntax. That's all. Okay, now, how? So, write this. Uh, Select what? E-name. Next one, salary. Next, salary range. Salary range. How? Case. Again, see that. Follow the syntax. Case. What? When? When? Shall greater than 3,000. Then what? I shall. When salary less than 3,000, then low shall. Else what? Average shall. And every case statement should end with what? And as salary range from EMP. That's all. Okay, then now run. What is the salary of this employee? 920. So salary is what? Greater than 3,000? No. Less than 3,000? Yes. Then displays what? High shall. Low shall. What is this is? 1920. Low shall. 1,500. Low shall. 3,421. Salary greater than 3,000? Yes. Then displays what? High shall. Okay. Then so low shall, high shall, low shall, like so. So it is showing each and every employee what salary. Okay, salary range. Understood? Then now you write this like there is a table, student number, student name, maths, physics, chemistry, or let's say subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Student number is 1, name is A, 80, 90, 70. Student 2B, 30, 60, 50. This is the table. Okay. So from this table, this table is given to you. What they're asking is from this table, display what? Student number, total, average, results. Display the student number, total, average, result. What the result is? Pass fail. Result is pass fail. I want to display each and every student number, total, average, result. You write this. What? Select what? Student number, total. S1 plus S2 plus S3. Next. What? S1 plus S2 plus S3 by 3. By 3. As what? Average. Next. Result. What the result is? Pass fail. I want result to be pass fail. Pass and fail is based on condition. Total is directly can calculate. Average directly can calculate. But result is based on condition. Pass and fail is based on condition. When student is said to be passed, when student said to be passed, if we get pass marks in what? All the 3 subjects. If we get pass marks in all the 3 subjects, his result is pass. Otherwise fail. And then what? Case. Case what? When? Case when? When S1 greater than or equals to 35. That's all. Next. What? End or end. And S2 greater than or equals to 35 and S3 greater than or equals to 35. That means student got pass marks in all the 3 subjects. If he get pass marks in all the 3 subjects, his result is also pass. Else what? Fail. Else fail. And every case statement should end with what? End. As what? Result from student table. That's all. Okay. Oh, now let's see. So it go to first one. This is the first row. It go to first one. What you are selecting? Student number. What is the student number? 1. Student total. What is the total? Then this is executed. 80 plus 90 plus 70, 240. S1 plus S2, 240 by 3, 80. Next one, S1 greater than 35? Yes. S2 greater than 35? Yes. S3 greater than 35? Yes. All the three conditions true? Yes. What the result is? Pass. Result is pass. And go to second row. First row is completed. Go to second row. Again execute this. Select student number. What is the student number? 2. Total 30 plus 60 plus 50. 140. Next one, 140 by 3. 46 point something. Next one, S1 greater than 35. No. If one condition false, the total expression returns false. Then go to what? Else. Returns what? Fail. Fail. That's all. This is out. Sir, whatever you write it here, that is executed for every row. Whatever you write it, that is executed for every row. It go to the first row, select student number, calculate total average result. Go to second row, select student number, calculate total average result. So in these two examples, what you are using? In these two examples, what you are using? Searched case. So here it is, you are using what? Searched case. Here also you are using what? Searched case. Okay. Sir, okay now? Next. Okay then. So this is like what? This is what? Case statement. This is a case statement. No. But one second. If you write like this, like suppose select what? Some salary from EMT. What this gives? This gives what? What this gives? Some salary. What is the sum salary? 33,411.25. This is what? The total salary. The total salary paid to all the employees. But not from the whole table. I want to display this department wise. I want to display this department wise. Means I want something like 10th department, what is the total salary? 20th, what is the total salary? 30th, what is the total salary? I want to calculate this total salary department wise. Then I want to display this department wise. This is from old table, na? But I want to show department wise. What everyone says, select department number also. If you select department number, what this gives? Error. I given a point. What is that point? This returns how many values? 14. Some salary returns how many? One value. You cannot combine this in select. Yes or no? Then so like I want to calculate department wise. This is from the old table, but you want to calculate this value department wise. Then what you have to do is don't apply this sum sal on old table, apply this sum sal on each department. To apply this sum sal on each department, so group the records based on what's that? Department wise. What? Group the records. Group the records based on what? Department wise. Okay. Then so group the records based on department wise. So if you group the records based on department wise, 10th department becomes what? One group. 10th department becomes what? One group. How many employees belongs to 10th department? 3 employees. There are 3 employees belongs to 10th department. 20 becomes one group. 20 becomes one group. There are 5 employees belongs to 20th. There are 5 employees belongs to 20th. Then so now don't apply sum sal on what? Don't apply. Don't apply some salon. What's that? Old table. Apply the sum salon what? Each department. Don't apply the sum salon old table. Apply the sum salon what? Each department. Instead of applying this on old table, apply this on what? Each department. Okay, then. Got it? But question is how to group the records based on department wise. To group the records based on department wise, we have to use one class, that is group by class. What we have to use? We have to use a class called group by class. Okay, group by. Then, sir, here once again, suppose actually the table is like this: e-name, salary, department number. Actual table is like this. If data is like this, SQL Server cannot calculate department-wise total salary. Listen, if data is like this, SQL Server cannot calculate what? Department-wise total salary. If data is like this, SQL Server can calculate department-wise total salary. Understood or not? Okay, na? If you give the data like this, SQL Server can calculate what? Department-wise total salary. If you give the data like this, it cannot calculate what? Department-wise total salary. So to calculate department-wise total salary, you have to give the data like this. What this is called? This is called grouping the rows based on what? Department-wise. Understood? Okay, na? Now, if I say, for example, count star, I'll say count star. If I say count star, what this gives? This gives what? Total number of what? Employees. The total number of employees. How many employees? 14 employees. But what I want is, I don't want total number of employees. I want job wise. Means how many clerks are there? How many managers are there? How many salesmen are there? How many analysts are there? I want to calculate job wise count. So if you want to calculate job wise count, then what you have to do? Group the records based on what? Job. Then, so just make the clerk as what? Clerk is one group. So just group the records based on job. So clerk is one group. Clerk is what's that? One group. Manager is what? One group. Manager is one group. And salesman is what? One group. So group the records based on what? Job wise. So clerk becomes one group. Manager becomes one group. Salesman becomes what? One group. Okay. Clerk becomes one group. Manager becomes one group. Salesman becomes one group. Now count the number of employees for each job. Okay. Then, so if you want to calculate job wise, then you have to give the data like this. If you give the data like this, then it can calculate what's it? Then it can, SQL Server can calculate what? Job wise count. If you give the table, if you give the data like this, it cannot calculate job wise count. If you give the data like this, it can calculate what? Job wise count. What this is? Grouping based on what? Job. Grouping is based on what? Job. Understood? So what the next one is? Group by class. Group by class. Group by class. What is the purpose of group by? Okay, what is the purpose of group by? Group by class is used to group rows based on one or more columns. Group by class is used to group rows based on one or more columns. Group by class is used to group rows based on one or more columns. To grouping the rows based on one or more. Grouping the rows based on department wise. Grouping the rows based on job wise. Okay. If you group the records based on department wise, then what happens? If you group the rows based on department wise, what happens? Grouping the rows based on department, what happens? 10th department becomes what? One group. 20 becomes what? One group. 30 becomes what? One group. If we group the records based on job wise, then clerk becomes one group. Manager becomes one group. Salesman becomes one group. But question is why you want to group? What is the purpose of grouping? Okay. Group wise for grouping. But what is the need for grouping? What is the purpose of grouping? To calculate what? To calculate what's it? Min, max, sum, average, count for each group. Up to now, we calculated min, max, sum, average from the whole table. We calculated these values from the whole table. Minimum salary from the table, maximum salary from the table, total salary from the table. But I don't want from the whole table. I want to calculate these values particular field wise. Department wise, I want to calculate total salary. Job wise, I want to count the number of employees. Okay. Year wise, I want to count the number of how many employees joined in 80s, 81, 82, 83. So if you want to do this type of calculations, then what we have to do? First what's it? Group. First group the records. Understood or not? Only for aggregates. You want to calculate these aggregates particular field wise, then group by. You want to find a rank, dense rank in particular groups, then partition by. Okay, na? You want to find a ranks, dense rank, row number in particular field, then partition by. Partition by, group by. Don't confuse. Partition by scope is only for analytical functions. Partition by scope is only for analytical. Okay, na? Then. But you want to calculate this min, max, sum, average, count for each group, then group by class. Okay. Then, like example, suppose here, this is the table. Once again, this is the table. Number, name, salary, what department number. Number is 1. Suppose name is A, salary 5,000, department is 10. And employee 2, name is B, salary is what? 3,000, department is 20. And employee 3, name is C, salary is 4,000, department number is 30. Employee 4, name is D, salary is what? Okay, salary is something 3,000, department is 10. And employee 5, suppose E, salary is something 6,000, department is 20. So this is the table. Okay, then this is the actual table. From this table, I want this output. What is the output I want? 10th department total salary. What is the 10th department total salary? 10th department total salary. 8,000. 8,000. 20th total salary. What is the 20th department total salary? 20th. 6,000 plus 3,000. 9,000. 30th department total salary. Only one. What is the total salary? 4,000. So this is the actual table. From this table, I want this output. What do you want to calculate? Department wise total salary. Then if you want this output, then what we have to use? We have to use what's it? What we have to use? We have to use what? One. What is that is we have to use? Group by class. That's all. Okay. So this is the actual table. From the table, you want this output. Means what you want to calculate department wise total salary. This is just one example. Okay, now next. So actually, what is this is called? What is this is called? This is called what? Detailed data. What this is called? Detailed data. What is this is called? This is called what? Summarized data. Okay, na? What is this is called? Detailed data. What is this is called? Summarized data. So this is detailed data. This is what? Summarized data. Summarized data. Summarized data. Then, and this summarized data. So summarized data. Why it is called detailed data? Why it is called detailed data? Because it contains what's that? Details. Employee details, employee ID, name, salary, department. This contains details. So this is detailed data. What is this is what? It is called summarized summary, department wise summary. Okay, then. So this is called summarized data. And summarized data is useful for analysis. If they want to analyze, the data should be in summarized form. If the data is in detailed form, analysis is difficult. If the data is in summarized form, analysis is what? Easy. If they want to analyze, compulsory they ask for what? Summarized data. Okay, na? Like because you just take one example. Suppose person's table. In this table, I'm storing each and every person details. In India, whoever got Aadhaar card, that person details are stored in this table. What I'm storing? Aadhaar number, person what name, person age, person gender, person address, person city, person state, phone number, etc. I'm storing each and every person details. Whoever got Aadhaar card, that person details are stored in this table. Sir, okay? Now, suppose how many person details are stored? How many person details are stored in this table? Huh? How many person details are you are storing? 130 plus crore. Okay, na? Because in India, almost all everyone has got Aadhaar card. So whoever got Aadhaar card, that person details are stored in this table. How many person details are stored? 130 plus crore person details are stored in this table. Okay, understood? Then now let's see. So suppose here then now but they want to analyze. They want to analyze what's that? In there is one department. In the department, they want to analyze state-wise population. They want to analyze what? State-wise population. But if you give this table to, if you give this table, one wants to analyze. If you give this table to him, can you do the analysis? One person wants to analyze state-wise population. You give this table to him. Can you do the analysis? No, difficult. Because he has to go through how many rows? 130 crores. Going through 130 crores takes months time. Going through the 130 crores takes what? Months time. So like analyzing what's that? If the data in detailed form, analyzing is difficult. Instead of giving like this, I prepare one report. By using SQL Server, I prepare a report. What is the report? AP, what is the male population? AP, what is the female population? And okay, na? TS, what is the male population? TS, what is the female population? I prepare a report like this. I'll give this report to the analyst. Now, can you do the analysis? Can you do the analysis? Yes. Now, easily can do the analysis because he doesn't need to go through 130 crores. He has to go through only 29 rows because how many states are there? 29. So he has to go through 29. Okay. Then which is easy? This is easy. What is this is called? This is called what? Summarized data. What is this is called? Detailed data because it contains person details. So what is this is called? Summarized data. Summarized data is useful for analysis. But question is how to convert the detailed data into summarized data? How to convert? How to convert the detailed data into summarized data by using what's it? Group by class. So like you can say group by class converts detailed data into summarized data, which is useful for what? Analysis. Okay, na? So converts detailed data into summarized data, which is useful for analysis. And what is the syntax for group by? How to write group by query? Okay, how to write the group by query? Okay, how to write the group by query? So select what columns. Select columns from table name. Next one, what where condition. Okay. Now from where condition, next one, what group by what column one, column two, so on. Grouping can be based on multiple columns. Okay, then next, what the next one is having what, having condition. Next, order by column name, order by column name, ascending or descending. Okay, now so this is the syntax for what, group by, syntax for group by. Okay, syntax for group by. Okay, na? Then, but where is optional? Having is optional. Order by is optional because this is syntax for group by. Group by is compulsory, but remaining clauses are what? Optional. Okay, na? Then now, but how this query is what's that executed? What is the execution? Is execution also same? SQL Server execute the query in the same order? Is SQL Server execute the query in the same order? No. Execution order is different. Like writing the query is different. Execution is different. Developer has to follow this order. This is the order for developer. Developer has to write the query like this. But how SQL Server execute? What? First from. Next one where? Next one group by. Next one having. Next one select. Next one order by. This is the order of execution. SQL Server will follow this order. Developer has to write the query like that. But when developer submit the query, SQL Server execute the query in this order. First, it will not go to select. First, it goes to from. First from, next where, next group by, next having, next select, next order by. This is the order of execution. Okay, now this is order of execution. Okay, next. And so suppose, for example, I'll ask what display, what's that? Department wise total salary. I'll ask department wise total salary. Okay, na? I want to display department wise total salary. Okay, na? Department wise total salary. How? Then let's see what. See this once again. So like I'll say sum sal. I'll say what? Sum of salary. Then what is this calculates? This calculates total salary from the whole table in whole organization. The total salary expenditure in organization. What the total salary expenditure in the organization is 33,411. But what do you want to calculate? I want to calculate what's the department wise. Department wise salary expenditure, not in the total expenditure in the organization, department wise salary expenditure. Then what do you have to say? So you ask SQL Server. So like calculate the sum salary for each department, not from the whole table. Calculate the sum salary for each department. Then what? Group by what's department? Group by department. Then if you say group by department number means, then it creates groups. How many groups are created? It creates groups. How many groups are created? 3 groups. 10th department becomes one group. 20 becomes one group. 30 becomes one group. Okay. 10th becomes one group. 20 becomes one group. 30 becomes one group. How many groups are created? 3 groups. And employees who work for 10th department becomes one group. Employees who belongs to 20th becomes one group. Employees who belongs to 30th becomes one group. So total 3 groups. And the sum sal is not calculated from old table. The sum sal is calculated for each group. The sum sal is calculated for each group. Okay, then it go to 10th group, calculate sum salary. Go to 20th group, calculate sum salary. Go to 30th, calculate. This is calculated for each group. Now, so 9,600, 12,000, 11,280. It is showing department wise. But if I ask this 9,600 belongs to which department? 12,000 belongs to which department? 11,000 belongs to which department? Can you answer? No, because in this output, so you are showing some salary, but this some salaries belongs to which department means no. In the output, show the department number also. Why it is not showing the department number? Why it is not showing the department number? Why it is not showing the department number, boss? In the output, because you are not selecting. You are not selecting. If you select, it will show. If you don't select, it will not show. If you want to see the department number, select a department number also. Now I am selecting the department number. Now what is this is 10,000. 10th department total. What is this is 20th. What is this is 30th. Now it is showing department wise total salary. Understood? Earlier it is calculated from old table. Now it is calculating for each department. Okay. Now this is not applied on old table. This is applied on each group. As what? As what's it? Total salary. So 10th department total salary. Okay, something. We'll see one by one. Okay, then. Okay, now done. But how this is executed?